Hey everyone, this is Doug Kenny and we welcome you to Stories from Motorsports. Today I have former NASCAR owner and driver Robert Richardson Jr. Hey Robert, how you doing?
How's it going, bud?
Going really good. Where are you at the moment?
I am in Pilot Point, Texas, at my home, and got some peace and quiet for the time being. I've been having to watch my kids this afternoon since I picked them up from school, but I think they're being pretty quiet, all things considered. They're at the other end of the house right now, so that means they're, well, I don't know, peace and quiet might mean mischief with kids, but I think we got enough time here to talk about racing.
Definitely. Give my followers a little bit of a rundown of what you're known for.
Oh man, from a racing perspective, I raced in NASCAR for approximately 11 years. In the truck series, the gist of my career was in the Nationwide Series, which is now the Xfinity Series. And I did a handful of cup races as well, primarily super speedway races at Talladega and Daytona, and did a cup race at Charlotte. But my career, where I got started, was racing Legends cars at Texas Motor Speedway in the Lone Star Legends program in 2002 and 2003. And won a championship in a Legends car, and from there I guess decided to take my career a little more serious. Jumped into a super late model car here in Texas, racing locally in the Romco Super Late Model Series. Raced across Texas for a couple of years at Texas Motor Speedway, Thunder Hill Raceway in Kyle, Texas, Corpus Christi, San Antonio, and at Texas Motor Speedway with a restrictor plate race that we had there at that time. But from Romco, in 2004, 2005, I raced into what was formerly known as the AutoZone Elite Division Southeast Series, which was a NASCAR sanctioned series, that raced a lot of the famous short tracks on the East Coast and in the Southeast region. And that's where I kind of got my feet wet, racing with kind of the best of the best in the country when it came to racing super late models. And we made the Toyota All-Star Showdown at Irwindale 2 years in a row. In 2006, I got into the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and that's kind of where my career with NASCAR took off from that point.
That's really cool. What was that one single season of truck racing like?
Man, at that time, you had a lot of the younger guys trying to come in and make a name for themselves, and yet you still had all the old wily veterans that were there that had raced in Cup for a really long time and was still digging in the truck series. I mean, we had Todd Bodine, Ted Musgrave, Dennis Setzer. A lot of great big names in NASCAR at that time, and very, very tough competitive wise, but at the same time a lot of those veterans would take you under their wing and work with you and teach you a lot of stuff, and so it felt like you're a part of a family or a fraternity, if you will. A lot of the guys got along really well. And Todd Bodine and I were parked next to each other, almost every week. And anytime I had questions about anything, he was typically there to, lend an ear and give me some advice. But very, very fun series. Wish I could go back and race in the trucks.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The Truck Series has been known for, giving old veterans that didn't make it into Cup a chance to have success still, and that's one thing I like about the series. Know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, did you fail to qualify for a couple races during that period? And if so, what was that like?
Oh man, that's devastating. you know, at that point, there was a couple races where we had to qualify on time to make the show, and I believe at that time, I can't remember if it was 06 or 07 when they implemented the owners points system. But yeah, you basically had to qualify on time. Every truck that showed up at that race, and yeah, it sucks. Not making a race. You got a lot of guys that pour their heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears into these race vehicles, and to go out and not make the race, it's devastating for a team.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that. So how did you get to the Nationwide Series after the Truck Series?
Oh, let's see. Basically just called a couple teams, had some sponsorship funding that we had with a company called WinYourMortgage.com, which was based out of Benchmark Mortgage out of Dallas. And we kind of had an incentive program to go out and find leads for that company at all the different racetracks that we went to give race fans an opportunity to win their mortgage payment for a year through Benchmark Mortgage. And that was our sales pitch, if you will, to numerous race teams for the 2007 season. And we landed a gig with J. Robinson Racing to race half of the season with them, as well as having teammates with Mark Green and Johnny Sauter and Derek Cope to finish out the remainder of the 2007 season with those guys.
I see. Was J. Robinson's team more funded at the time compared to what it was in the Cup Series a few years back? Like, was it more successful, I mean?
I mean, at that time, Jay had been racing for a couple of years with various drivers. As far as being competitive, we were realistically a top 20 team, top 20, top 25 team, at that time. And then as years have progressed, he ended up getting into the Cup Series. And I kind of got out of it about the time that, Jay was putting all of his efforts into the Cup Series. I want to say he was doing starting parks for the most part at that time. But when we were racing full races and doing a full season effort with those guys.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty interesting how, different levels of racing, it's more expensive than the other and all that.